Just give us a little example, Chuck, of maybe play a little bit of that as it's written, and then I'll improvise sort of a um, let's say we sing that first verse, and then we go into a time where I'm going to introduce the series.
Okay.
All right.
And what I'm going to do for this time around is I'm going to stick to the chordal structure, but I'm going to just change the tempo a little bit of it when you get to the spoken form. So those that are following along will do that. Do you want to go all the way through this verse so it goes into the second page?
Sure.
You got both pages that you're
Yeah, I
able to
do
pull
have
up?
both pages actually.
Just for those following along at home.
Yes, and I'm trying to pull up my synopsis so I can actually. Great, read.
So all I'm doing for this little intro is just that B flat over E flat chord structure.
And maybe as a worship leader, I would say, invite us all. Maybe this is a threshold moment. I would just say, I invite you to a deep breath. Perhaps the soloist would come in singing, I will come to you in the silence. I will lift you from all your fear. You will hear my voice. I claim you as my choice. Be still and know I am here. And then perhaps I go into, the sense that there is not enough drives greed, drives fear, and exclusionary behavior. We begin to live in scarcity, where it seems that death, starvation, feelings of being overwhelmed and swallowed up can lurk around every corner. The good news, my friends, is that this is an illusion. A spiritual journey into the truth of abundance of all that we need offers us an alternative vision of where to live our lives. And so in this series, we'll be moving out of scarcity and traveling into the habitats of God's grace. I am hope for all who are hopeless. I am eyes for all who long to see. In the shadows of the night, I will be a light. Come and rest in me. Yeah.
There's a little bit of latency there, so nice job.
I know. We're like feeling each other out because we're like we're all the way across the country.
5 seconds later,
right.
The last note happens on your area over there. So what I did musically underneath that, when you were actually speaking, I was taking out the melody line that was actually written. So back in the first page, all I was playing was taking out that melody line and sticking just with the chords that are there. And I stayed with that same rhythm through most of what you did, paying attention to what you were saying. So if you said something like, for a breath, you just kind of give a pause there because I'm listening to where your natural spoken words fall in the rhythm of your speaking. And so when I got to the end of that, feeling that there was somewhere where we needed to go, but I wasn't sure as a musician whether we were going to go back into the song itself or if we were going to end up doing more of a prayer, go forth and do something with this. I ended up picking the end chord, which is those F sus F, which is on page 2. What I ended up doing is going back to that E flat chord over B flat, and you could just hold on that chord
for as long as you needed to see where we were going next.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just kind of varying what I'm doing on the piano itself. So that allows me as a musician to know that we might have planned something out, but you might be moved by the Holy Spirit to do something else. And what I'm doing is continuing that feeling musically underneath you and providing that beat that feels like it's still moving somewhere.
Right.
Which would have felt very different if I ended the song and then you went, let's sing the next verse.
Right, exactly. Right, which kind of breaks
just,
the mood, and you know, something magical happens when you don't have to announce it. It just goes into it. You know, it it feels like we planned it.
yeah, yeah.
So one of the things that Chuck and I do when we're planning out something like this, and we did it for the whole Great Thanksgiving for the General Conference, which I'll show a little clip in a minute of that. Is we sat down and we tried it, you know, and I played with the wording, and of course, like what we just did, you know, Chuck's instinct was right. I didn't need that last sentence. I needed to shorten what I was going to say just a little bit. And I can't know that until we try it. And so during the worship service is not the time to try it the first time, you know.
No.
And so there's some things that we can only create when we come together to collaborate and try it together, rather than just saying, okay, I wrote the paragraph, okay, and then, you know, and then trying it in the worship service, because, you know, that's where the collaboration gets really good. But it does take a little more time than just sort of seeing each other on Sunday morning, and doing it